Good afternoon, it's the Crafty Lady, Gwen. I'm back again with our fourth tutorial on the TP books. I've been looking on the YouTube. There are an awful lot of tutorials on TP books, and they're really all very good. They're all a little bit different, and so I'm hoping that I'm bringing something to this one as well that you can use in your books. We're going to try and finish up on this one. I have gone ahead and I have taken our tags that go inside. I have added the grommets at the top. Let me bring it in so you can see. I've added the grommets at the top with my crocodile. I have stamped. I have several little line stamps. I always like this one because of the little design on the side. And for the journaling on this side of the tag, and then this side of the tag, you can put whatever you want, photos, etc. So I've got a couple more to finish up here in class. I have completed 4 of them. I'm going to show you how to do the grommets, and I'm sure some of you are certainly familiar with them. And then we're going to bind with the Bind It All, and I'm going to use the wire binding wire that you have. There's different kinds, but I use this with my Bind It All. We're going to do that real quick and put it in our book. I also have run 4 of the pages through the Bind It All, and this is what they look like. This is what they look like with the holes that go through. There are 5 holes that I punch. I line this up and mark it with a marker, and I'll show you when we do that. So I have a couple more pages to punch. I have a couple of the tags to finish and try to put the book together. So let's get started. I've taken our tag, and you take these little grommets. Now you do not have to have a crocodile to do this. You punch your holes with a paper punch or a crocodile, put in your grommet, turn it over. Now on the crocodile, I turn mine over. There's a couple of there's a protruding little pin that you put the hole in side down, and then you just squeeze it together, and that sets your eyelet. Then I take twine. I'm using twine on this. I take twine or ribbon, whatever, and I cut about 8 inches. You do not need 8 inches, 6 or 8 inches. I run it through the front, and then I take the loop and run the 2 ends through the loop. And this is called something, some kind of a bird's beak, I forget. And it looks like this. Now, that's too long, way too long. So I bring it up, and then I cut it off to be about an inch and a half long. But I always like to do 6 or 8 inches to start out with, so I know that I have plenty. Take another grommet, run through. Doesn't matter which side to start out with. You're going to end up with a right and wrong side, however, when you're finished. Now, there are other ways to bend these down. There it is. Then you take your twine or your ribbon and run it through like so. Bring the loop out and run it through the loop. As I was saying, there's other ways to set your grommets. I think in Making Memories has like a hammer and a setter that you put in there, and okay, there we go. So we have those finished. Now we're going to stamp them. I'm going to stamp them. I'm using a stamp setter. I also stamp, when I stamp anything, I put it on an old mouse pad, and that just simply gives us some cushion underneath. You can use the old mouse pad as I have, or use a magazine, something to give it some cushion, and your stamping will come out better, as I think. Now, this is a stamp setter. so you can get it straight. I like them straight if I can do it. And there we've stamped the little lines. I can't, it's backwards. So we're going to do the other one, and then we'll have our little tags finished for our book. This lines it up. There are tutorials on this as well. I won't go into it today. They're not hard. You can find them at Michael's. The units, they're called, I forget what they're called. Now the newer stamps, most of the stamps are going to the clear stamps, and in fact I even got that one a little crooked, but it's okay. Okay, we have our stamping finished. Okay, now I'm going to take our crocodile and finish our cutting. This, I'm not a crocodile, I'm sorry, our bind it all. This is a bind it all machine. There are other machines. I have another one, and I forget the name of it. This is small. I keep it in the cupboard. The other one's quite large. It's very nice. It really is very nice. And it will do, this will do as many, big as size, 12 by 12s, whatever, if you make a book that large. However, I like the smaller one right now because I say you can get it in and out. I'm sure Bind It All certainly has tutorials on this. So I have it marked on here on the top, the width of my paper. You put it all the way down to the end. Make sure it's at the end. I've done that where I've didn't have it all the way at the end, and then you just punch it, and there we go. We have one more, and I always mark when I'm doing multis. You can do more than one sheet at a time on some things, but I do these one at a time. So there we have all of our pages. All of our pages are cut, and it cut it in the border, and you see how light that is, or how easy that is to bend. That is the hollow part of the tab that we put on there. So we can punch it. Now put your pages together, line them up however you like. I don't think it really, there again it might, but on this book I don't think it makes a lot of difference. So to finish this off with the Bind It All, you put the front, well no, excuse me, we're going to do this. We're going to do the same thing, put this in, punch it. Now you got to keep in mind that you've got a front and a back. Now, on this type of thing, you could do it that way and turn it over to be okay. If you've got pattern paper, you've got something you need to match, you've got to be very careful. To show you, this is the front, this is the back. I'm going to turn this over and put it in the unit. And there again, okay. When you then line up your pages to bind it, we have to cut 5 of these units off. We want 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with wire snips. Now, you take your pages. Take your pages, put them all together, stack them up all very neatly together, and you can see the holes. Take your front cover and put on the front. Take your back cover and turn it over. You want these facing each other. You don't want it like that, because then it will be upside down. Take your back cover and put it on top. Now another reason we do this, we feed your wire through this way because you want that wire stop at the back of your book. You do not want the wire stop at the front of your book. And then you feed this through. I have this all lined up. Feed it through. Got your back and front facing each other. Feed it through. Then you work this down so your pages and your front and back is about in the center, and it'll look like this. Then you turn your unit around, you put it upside down in the unit, and then you just press it together. Make sure it closes up good and tight. Okay, there we go. See, it's closed up good and tight. And then you just fold your pages. Or fold your book together. I'm sorry, fold your book. This is the front of your book. This is the front of your book. Page, 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 page. There are all your pages. There's your little book. And then you close it. Well, you close it this way because, as you can see, this catches, there's a stop here, and you want that at the back, not the front. Now we just slip in our tags that we made. Now they might catch a little. The toilet paper tubes are a spiral, and sometimes you got to work with them a little bit or go in and kind of work around. They sometimes catch till you get used to them, or they wear down. But the tags slide in pretty well. You got to make sure that your tags are the right size for your tube. So you slide in all your tags. Now I don't do a lot of embellishing like some of them. They're very pretty. I like to whatever, but I don't do as much as some. I will do more on this one. Okay, there's our tags, and you can see the little strings stick out on the end, which is cute, and ribbon. This one has ribbon on it that sticks out on the end, makes it pretty. I will put some embellishing on the top, like I did the Christmas one with the Christmas tag. I did this one with flowers. This one I haven't finished this one or this one, but I embellish it some way. And is this for a little boy? You could put little boy things, baseballs, baseball bat, any kind of little embellishments. You can also embellish each individual page on the front and the back. You can do whatever you want to do with them. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing it. I think they're cute little books. They're very easy to make. Once you do one or two of them, you're good to go. I still like the mini, not multi-mini, the micro mini. And this is made out of the leftovers from the paper towel holders. Now I did finish this, but I have a key, a metal Tim Holtz key on the front, and some Prima flowers on front, and I forget what this is, a little tag on it. I put my name on the back of it, but I just think that's cute. And I used the extra large ring for this because I thought the oversized ring really kind of enhanced the little micro mini. And here's, and I have others. I have this one I like real well. Now this one, I talked earlier about chamfering or cutting your edges. This one, I'm up as far as I can go. This one I used the scalloped chomper to scallop the edges. You can use the chamfer like we used. Well, you can round the corners. I left this corner, I left these on the Christmas one square. These, I rounded this one. Yes, I rounded this one. And I also rounded the pages, so you can do whatever you want to do with them. I'm Gwen with Crafty Lady Designs. That's my blog spot on WordPress at Crafty Lady Designs with an S.com. Please visit my site, like this tutorial, if you will, and leave me a message. If there's any questions, please email me at gcastile.com. And I'm going to do some other, I do a lot of card work, so I'm going to do some tutorials on some greeting cards. And I do a lot of three-dimensional, and I do a lot of tags, oversized, big tags, 10 by 5s. And I think I'm going to do some tutorials on them as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing it, and I'll be seeing you later. Thank you very much. Have a great day.